Ratoberfest 2023, and I'm here talking with Mark Lawrence, and you, one of the organizers of this thing.
Yeah, we, three of us, Keith, Mert, Dale Elrod, and myself, started the car show 14 years ago in a field in West Paducah. I had about 125 cars.
What you got today?
I think there's over 600 out here today. But we have a pinup contest that's fixing to start, so it'll be, I think, at 2 o'clock, and then the awards go down at 3.
A lot of fine automobiles out here. We're out here by the fence watching the flag drags, and Mark graciously decided he would tell me, if he didn't have to be on camera, he would tell me about the history of Ratoberfest. Now, do you run the flag drags until they're over, or is there a time limit, or what?
Yeah, they have a time limit, so the flag drags will cut off at 1.
That must be one of the pinup ladies there.
That's our pinup.
She's a Asian woman, and lots to do here at Ratoberfest. Now, you do several events besides this one each year, do you not?
Oh, yeah, we've got drag racing out here every week. We've got a couple of muscle car shows that we do. We do a Beyond 660 racing out here, which is no prep racing, and just a lot of fun events out here. This one, we do have 4 charities that a portion of the proceeds go to those charities each year, so it's a great thing.
And you can hear the sound of the hot rod engines cranking up. Once again, the flag drags are underway. There's lots of events. Do you want to give folks a contact with?
A Facebook page, Ratoberfest, and Jeff and Low-End Pick are in charge of that, so you can give them a shout. Their number will be on that Facebook page. If you'd like to donate to our charities, that'd be great. If you want to help participate or work next year for the event, get on that Facebook page and sign up.
Just remember, it's early Halloween. Night before last, on Thursday, they had a movie, Days of Thunder, and Dr. Jeff, who is Mark's brother, was practicing his Robert Duvall imitation yesterday at the radio station. He said to hit the pace car and hit everything else out there.
Right.
All right, Mark, thank you for your time, brother.
'56 Ford, a Missouri car here at Bacon Dragway for Ratoberfest 23. This all started as Ratoberfest on the 14th of October, which was a Saturday. Here I am on Christmas Eve putting the last finishing touches on this video. There were a lot of cars here. The girl is pinup contestant Taylor. Let's see some more of her and some others as the afternoon went on. And the contestants and some folks that just dressed up and didn't compete, well, they worked the event in fine style. We had quite a few folks that drove in from everywhere else, like everywhere, and didn't enter the contest. The entire theme of Ratoberfest is around Halloween, of course, and who's more Halloween than Chucky and skulls and skeletons? We're going to see a lot of that during this video, too. I'm guessing this is over 60 photos here of rat rods. It is Ratoberfest after all. Ratoberfest is more than rat rods, but lots of rats were in attendance, plus really nice restored classic, customs, and street rods. This fleet line is owned by Bill Adams. We talked with him in another video on the channel at Christmas time down at Arlington, Kentucky. And then there's this Cadillac. We talked with the owner.
All right, what What's your name, friend?
Jason James. Most people know me as Spud.
Where you from?
Perryville, Missouri.
I noticed the Missouri tags on there. I have seen many variations on Cadillac, but it's usually the Cadillac engine goes somewhere else. I've never seen a 12-valve Cummins in a Cadillac. Tell me about this. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I wanted something to be able to pull my other rat rod. And, well, you check the price of the new trucks, so I figured I'd build something to pull my other rat rod that everybody could ride in. So I took a 5.9, done a bunch of work to it, pump work. It puts somewhere around 680 horsepower. Redone the whole underneath side of the car, have fabricated everything. It's on air. The wife is in charge of the interior. She had the interior all redone.
So it's much more comfortable to look from out here.
And make it safe. Yes.
Folks want to know how you did the air right. I know they're going to want to know that.
Cassidy Customs is the one that hooked me up with. They do a lot of Cadillac suspension. I ordered everything through them. Of course, I had to modify everything for it to go on there. But, yeah, they set me up with everything to get the suspension.
It's down in the weeds.
Yes.
What you said you pull another rat rod. Where's the other one?
It's at home. It blew a head gasket to the last burnout competition. It's a 1947 Dodge with a twin turbo 4BT Cummins in it, like in a bread truck. And it's pretty wild. And I got it. Went and found the ugliest gooseneck that I could find sitting in a farmer's field, and where it's all rusty. And I got it where it hooks onto the back of here, and I'm going to pull it around to the shows.
We're going to show it on Country Conversations with Cactus Jack on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll be glad to talk to you. Let me get a picture of your pretty face. Smile and wave. Now, this woman over here in this chair that's hitting on that Red Bull, that's the one that set me up with her. Is that the one that's in charge of the suspension?
Yeah, inside.
Wave, we've been talking about you. What's her name?
Wife, Ann James.
All right. We appreciate you talking to us.
All right.
Country Conversations. We talked to this next fella at Metropolis in June. He's actually from my hometown. And take a look at some of the changes in Eleanor in just one summer.
All right, we talked to you back in June at the Fort Massac Park, the Superman celebration about Eleanor, and I got pretty well everything wrong in that video. So you want to start over and tell me all about your car here?
Well, it's a Dodge sedan, rat rod. It's got a 5.3 LS, 4L60E transmission, Mustang 2 front end, coilovers, 4-link coilovers in the back, brand new floor all the way front and back. And
How long take you to put all that together?
There's a guy up in Chester that started the car, and we finished it, and we did all the artwork on it this year on it so far, a little bit here, a little bit there between shows.
Well, tell us about the theme. There's some stuff up on the visor there that I don't remember seeing in my other video.
Well, we bought the car on Halloween.
Yeah?
And we named it Eleanor. It just, the skulls and the hands just grew.
When it was at Metropolis, yeah, he's still back there. You ever going to take your kid to school, or are you just going to leave him in there and keep forgetting about him?
Just forget about him. He about almost mounted to the car almost.
Well, I know you're from my hometown, but tell everybody where you're from so they'll...
Jonesboro, Illinois.
Jonesboro, Illinois, home of Eleanor, and you've seen this car all over social media the last few months. It's a very popular car. Thank you for talking to us. We'll try to get it right this time.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Do that today, they want to throw you in jail.
Oh, we used to do a lot of things.
That bird on there is our old Montgomery Ward catalog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
It's originally for a packing.
Don't forget to get the owner. That way when you look at the car, you put a face with it. Good chat, man.
Yeah, you too. You guys have a great
talked a lot about the Pinup girls. The Pinups contest was a really big thing, a big part of Ratoberfest, but we had over 600 automobiles. So the girls came in and they posed with a lot of customers, a lot of rat rods. You've already met Taylor. Now we have Alyssa. This is Michelle. This girl's name is Kristen. Here's Taylor with Alyssa. Here's Kristen again with an unidentified escort. Looks like that one could use a pork chop. A little thin. There's Amber. We have Kathy here. Here's Erica. These are all the girls that we have names for. It's Taylor, Alyssa, Michelle, Kristen, Amber, Kathy, and Erica. But there were more. Here's Anna.
It's like going back to the 1940s, except here we are in 2023. Have y'all been here? You're not old enough to have been here all 14 years. Does your mama know what you're doing out here?
I'm pretty old, let me tell you.
I believe anything you tell me. So is the contest over? Did you already? Okay. How many times can I vote?
I don't know.
I can vote up to 5 times, or you're number 5. Okay. All right. So this is YouTube. It's Country Conversations with Cactus Jack. We have number 4 who is just telling us her number, and we have number 5. Y'all, thank you for dressing up the place. I didn't think I'd see anything more attractive than all these cars, but there you are.
Thank you.
Thanks.
They were all part of the Pinup contest at Ratoberfest 2023.
All right, we're good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Can you hold still just for a second here? Don't move. Here it is, at Tunnel Ram and his big brother, Big Tunnel Ram. How cool is that?
We have names for these, and they were contestants in the Pinup contest, but there were others that we never got their names. We got pictures, we got video, but they never told us who they were, and they never showed up in the official contest. So some folks just like to dress up as Pinup girls at Ratoberfest.
All right, Cactus Jack is in here, representing Willie Radio right now. You know, that is my day job. That's where I work on the weekends. That guy right there just turned around and smiles at pretty at Big Country, Brett O'Gwen. And the one that's acting like he doesn't see me is Dr. Jeff. We talked to his brother a few minutes ago about what goes on here at Ratoberfest. This is 2023, the 14th annual. Sell a deep-fried Twinkies and deep-fried Oreos. Now, maybe someplace where you live, you're cultured enough to know what that is. If not, you need to find a place where we are and get you some. You can hear them ripping down the drag strip here at Beacon Dragway. This was once an airport, Carrington Airport, what they called this. And we're here for Ratoberfest 2023. This is the 14th annual. They started this in 2009. And it has become a monster car show here in the 4-state area, 5-state area, however many states you want to count. Lots of entries. I haven't even made it over to the main event yet, but what great cars. What great effort for these folks to put all these together and bring them out here. There's the Tri-5 Holy Grail. It's a 57 Chevy. This one says fuel injected. I haven't gotten close enough to see the engine, but boy, it's a nice looking ride. Mortsky Repair would call that a whiskey dent there about halfway down the fender. I call them a pride mark. That's the sign of a driver, somebody that gets around with it. Looks like a nice looking small block in there. You got Edelbrock, got all that chrome that won't get you home, but I'm telling you, it sure makes them look nice. Fuel injected. From the condition of the tires, I'd say this one's driven regularly. Cassie Jack here with Jimmy Burnham, and we're looking at this 57 Chevy, which is a pristine automobile, fuel injection flag on the sides, the one I talked about with a whiskey dent. And Jimmy has got an awesome story about this automobile.
Yeah, this car actually was my dad's back in it was the last car that me and my dad worked on as together that I can remember working in his shop, and I went and pursued another avenue on work and was hired in with Distributor's Warehouse shortly after we did this car. And my dad passed away in 2000, and the day before he passed away, he had sold this car.
Wow.
And nobody knew that he had sold it. And it was about 2 weeks later, I was trying to get the shop open back up, of course, because my dad had passed away. And a gentleman had come in and asked if I was Jimmy Burnham, and I said, yes, sir. And he said he had some hard news for me, that, and I'm thinking, what could be harder than losing your father, you know?
Exactly.
And he said, well, I had bought the blue 57. And I said, oh, you didn't. I thought he was joking around, yeah. And he actually pulled the title out of his GoPro and showed it to me.
There's Dad's signature.
Yeah, there was Dad's signature, and he hadn't told nobody. And he told me that my dad said that I would have a problem with him selling it because I always did love this 57 Chevy. Well, after years, I knew where it went. He lived close to us, but I just never knew the guy. But in the years after we had built a little bit of a relationship, I was working on a lot of his cars. And he told me one day, he said, oh, you'll get your dad's car back. He said, I've got one I want you to paint. He said, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Well, 20 years later, he got killed in an auto accident. And he had no family here. So I had a friend of mine that got his daughter's phone number for me. And I called his daughter, and his daughter hooked me up with his sister who had took over the estate. And 20 years later, she come down from Florida and worked out a deal with me to get my dad's car back. It is a cherished item, I must say, and it'll never be for sale. It'll be passed on down to my kids, but it's just kind of astonishing that I got it back after 20 years.
Well, you know, I knew your dad. I admired your dad. He was one of the most interesting people I ever met. You want to tell us a little bit about how many irons he had in the fire, what he had under his hat when he wore one?
Well, my dad, he loved aviation. I mean, he just loved airplanes. He was building an airplane, and that's what was his demise. Everybody thought he would crash an airplane, but he was restoring a 1946 Taylor craft and was putting the bungee cords on the gear, and the plane fell off the wing stands and suffocated him. He couldn't get it off of him. And it's strange because if anybody was out there, he'd be here today, but you know, his time was up.
And this is a caution to everyone who works alone in the shop. Be sure you've got a way to get help.
Yep, that's very true. Because like I said, if somebody else was there, if it was a kid, there's enough leverage on the wing that they could have went out to the end he would have got out from under it.
Your dad restored aircraft. He built some experimental aircraft.
Yes,
didn't
he did. He built experimental.
The one that you see in all the videos of John Denver crashed in the ocean. I used to see that one fly over my house every day. And about the time John Denver passed away, I didn't see the airplane anymore. And I wondered a million times if your dad sold it to John Denver. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was.
No, it wasn't the same plane, but I know the plane you're talking about. He did have quite a few toys and planes and stuff that he just loved aviation. He loved it as much as he loved cars, and I think that he loved aviation more than he did love cars. He was a very rounded man. He loved his God, his family, and he did have some hobbies. He loved cars and he loved aircraft.
Cars was his day job, but he did love the aircraft. That was his passion.
He did. And he loved giving people who'd never been a ride in there. That was one of his great things. If you never rode an airplane, he wanted to make sure he would take you up, not charge you or anything. He flew a lot of people on Metropolis. He gave them the first ride there.
The way I met him, my kids were little bitty. We used to go out and park at the fence and watch takeoffs and landing practice. And Jerry was almost taller than a right-hand seat when we were watching that. And there's countless people that I know that have learned to fly, and that's who taught them. That's who taught him to do it. He was a great guy. I don't know how old he was when he passed, but I know he passed.
He was 59. I am the same age he was. That's way up.
Jimmy, Burlington Collision Center on Highway 45 in Metropolis, Illinois, between the interstate and the big curve. Go by there, talk to him, and get the stories. Jimmy, thank you. We miss your dad, and I love the car, and I'm so glad you got it back.
Yeah, like I said, it's not going nowhere now.
God bless you, brother.
Well, along about this point in Ratoberfest, it was getting on up in the afternoon. The flag drags were wrapped up, and the people that were driving the loud cars kind of moved away from them. So we got a lot less crowd noise here, but the cars are still everywhere. There's Tri-5s, there's Nomads, there's every description of Chevrolet and Ford, and they had hybrids of every description, the rat rods of classics, and we're just going to let the pictures tell the stories for a while here. Yeah, we love our 55s, our 56s, and our 57s, but I do have some footage of the flag drags here. This is worth taking a look here. I didn't get a great look at the flag drags. I was talking to Mark Lawrence at the time, but I could see the action going on. And I was a late bloomer. I got there a little bit late on this Saturday morning, but it's a good look at the flag drags. We'll take a look here. Stepping away from the flag drags for a while here, there were over 600 cars at Ratoberfest, and these are my favorites of the vintage classics. We've got some conversations interspersed in here. Mostly we're just going to let you look at the cars. That's what a lot of folks do. They just walk through and soak in the automobiles. And in addition to the clone of the Dutton Ranch famous pickup truck, we had a tribute to Elvis the King, a Cadillac convertible no less. From the announcement of the King on the front license plate, dancing figure of the King on the rearview mirror. This one is like my memories of Elvis movies when I was a little kid. The King at Ratoberfest. The local ambulance company now had changed hands a few times since I've lived around here. And originally, when I came here, this was the Angel of Mercy ambulance service, and this ambulance was still in service, or at least one just like it. It says on the plaque it's a 1967 Cotner Bevington Oldsmobile 98 ambulance, the first new four-patient ambulance in the state of Kentucky. No extra charge for the Pinup girls. We only had a couple of shots of this one. This is a World War II era Navy pickup truck. I actually had the next year model newer than that once upon a time. It had a military number on it. Whether it was Navy or not, I'll never know. But it was a great looking truck. I have searched high and low and I don't know what happened to the video. I actually had an interview with this man who is the operator of the Raptor. This started out in life as an over-the-road tractor and it's been converted into something. Maybe the skeleton knows. This thing had so much going on, from the rat on top of the air cleaner to the tunnel ram intake to the saw blade to the headers and that interior. It started out in life as a Willys station wagon. I have no idea more about it. I saw it, I took video, and I was really impressed with all the work. This thing is a work of art. And even more, it's for sale.
All right, they call this Ratoberfest, and this one says Rowdy. It's an Illinois plate, so I guess you're from somewhere north of the river. What's your name?
Brian Davenport.
Brian, where are you from?
Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Murfreesboro. Very familiar with your part of the country, but I'm not familiar with a rat rod like this. Tell me about this truck.
It's a 1940 Ford cab, 67 bed with a Chevy power plant.
A 67-ish bed. Part of a 67.
67-ish, yeah.
Tell me how you shrunk that down. That's a cool story.
It started off as an 8-foot bed, dropped it down to 4 foot, and cut 30 inches of width out of it.
Underneath the wood there, is that your fuel tank and your air ride and so on?
Exactly. Fuel tank, air rod. It's filthy dirty. I'd let you look at it.
Well, that's the object of a rat rod, isn't it?
That's true.
Love your bottle down there for your, is that for the vapor tube?
Yep, just a little catch-all. That's a small block Chevy, 383.
Early on in Rat Rod, you heard in the advertising a lot. I read the cards on the radio a lot about the Ladies' Room Pavilion at Ratoberfest. Well, here's some pictures of that and the swap meet. The swap meet is as big as the car show is at Ratoberfest, and 2023 was no exception. We'll take a look.
giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Can't twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
All in all, Ratoberfest is about cars and trucks and pinups and parts. And even the advertising says you'll hear some lies and some good stories. You're going to see some duplications here in the next few minutes. And just as we all did, we walked around the car show and we passed our favorites and took another look.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, oh.
I want to take a few seconds here and thank Jimmy Palmer and Tori Moreno for all their help, especially Jimmy Palmer. Most of these photos, the still pictures you see, are Jimmy's. Some of them are mine. I was there. I took some pictures, and Tori took some pictures. Jimmy is just tireless. I got close to 1,500 pictures of his to sift through. These are the best of those, and you'll see a few of mine. Now, all the video is for me. It's what I did. I'm an amateur. I'm a radio man. I'm a disc jockey. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a photographer. I'm just learning. So my hat is off. Thank you to Jimmy Palmer. Look him up on Facebook. If you need to do a layout of your car or anything else, be sure and get in touch with Jimmy. So once again, thank you to the photographers who made this such a much better project for YouTube. Thanks to Tori Moreno, and a big hats off for all his work from Jimmy Palmer.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die. Hey, swing those hips around.
All right, 36 Ford pickup truck. Now, the reason this one is dear to me is because my dad and I started when I was a little bitty kid, way up there in the frozen north. We lived in a little town called Essex, Illinois, which is outside of Kankakee. If you're an Illinois person, you'll know where that is. In Chicagoland, my dad bought a 36 Ford pickup truck, and I called myself helping him. Mostly I just watched him and handed him tools and rags, but he got that old thing running, and we drove it. Used to take it to the coal mine and get coal on Saturdays. 36 Ford pickup truck. And this one has my favorite subject, Salt and Light Community Church is up there. Our little bitty church is called Grace Church. It's in Metropolis, Illinois. But I digress. 36 Ford flathead V8. Got the New Testament with the Psalms and Proverbs right in there. And very nice job on this truck.
A lot of interesting features on this one. Parts of this video is actually from a show in Smithland, Kentucky earlier in 2023. But he was there for Ratoberfest. From the flat black to the dense left end to the fake blower air cleaner, this one could have been parked at any high school in the 1960s and early 70s. And check out the gear shift.
All right, we're here with one of my favorite badges of vehicles, a Pontiac. And James, tell him your first and last name.
Yeah, James Adams.
James Adams. We're no kin, although I got Adams a couple of generations back in my genealogy. At least that's what they tell me. But this is a pristine Pontiac. I've seen this car around Paducah for 5 or 6 years, and then I found out you owned it.
I drive it all the time, the weekends.
Well,
it don't do good sitting in the garage, so I have to drive it.
Well, now you said this is not the original power plant in here.
Well, it's mostly original. It's motors out of a 73 Pontiac. I put it in about 3 and rest of it, I had seat cover trim to do my seats. And
hold on a minute.
seat cover trim done my seats. And original. Put new door panels in. Had a new paint job here about 7 or 8 years ago.
So 10 years ago, you pretty well bought this same car and run the wheels off of it until you had to have an engine.
Yeah, I gradually got a little bit done at a time.
Well, I tell you what, it's sharp. The videos don't do it justice. You really need to come see this one at the car show. Now, people that don't like big cars, or some that do, call this a land barge, and it's worth every word of that. I mean, this is a cushy automobile. This is like the hot rod of Lincoln. Smooth ride at the same time.
Big ride boat, yeah.
All right, James. Well, thank you for talking to us, and we'll see you soon.
All right. We'll see you around.
There's your basic lead sled. That's the one they sing about when they're singing they want to buy me a Mercury, the Mercury Blues.
Well, if you're still with me after this long, you're a true car lover and you're a true supporter of the channel, Country Conversations with Cactus Jack, and I appreciate that. I'm almost a year into YouTube, and I have spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours putting this stuff together, and I'm really having a great time with it. But I would appreciate it if you would. If you have not subscribed before, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like and leave a comment. And I appreciate your time. I do thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks to James Adams, and thanks to all the folks that I didn't even know who let us do conversations with them about their cars. One thing we all love. We love our automobiles, and if you built them, you love to talk about them. So if you want to talk to me about your car, let me know. Get in touch with me. You can contact me at the email address here on this post. And thank you so much for supporting Country Conversations with Cactus Jack. We'll see you soon.